So what made you decide to start putting strings and, you know, I guess orchestrations to rock and roll?
Well, it just, like, I grew up listening to like a lot of symphonic metal bands, like Halloween, Gamma Ray, Angra, and all those.
Sign of the Oath.
The good stuff. Yeah, so like the combination of the orchestra and rock band came to me pretty naturally.
So you feel like, do you feel like those bands were already doing it kind of on guitars, and then like, but you just, you know, brought it to the next level then?
Yeah, I think so, because like those bands were doing it like with MIDI, obviously, but like I just wanted to do it like with real people and just kind of make it more epic.
So what American band made you decide that this was it?
All the 70s, 80s bands, all of them. I love that era, and because like the musicians are just so real.
Yeah.
Because now you can edit everything, but back then you couldn't. So you had to actually play.
So you actually had to do it right.
Yeah.
Well, but how about, isn't there something to be said for people who can punch in on a tape machine?
Yeah, but you know, like that's like, you still had to play like the entire guitar solo in one shot and stuff, right?
Well, yeah, but I mean, I listened to Def Leppard and I found out they were just whispering for all those huge vocals. So, I mean, my whole 80s life has been changed. I mean, maybe it's not this, maybe you can demystify it for us. They had to really play like that?
Yeah, no, but you know, like nowadays, even singers would tell you like, oh, can you just melodyne it?
Yeah.
It's like, you didn't hear that back then.
Oh, I got it.
Yeah.
I got it. And then how did you end up at Berkeley then?
So in Seattle, I transferred to a four-year college, and I didn't like it. I hated it so much. So one day I said, I'm gonna fucking leave.
You went to a four-year college, you said you're just gonna fucking leave, and you're like, I'm just gonna go to Berkeley?
That's basically what happened. So in my class, I remember this moment very specifically. So in my class, I said, you know what, I'm done. I'm done with this. Like, it's not fun anymore. And I said, like, I randomly said, I'm gonna go to Berkeley. And the teacher said, have you gotten accepted? I said, no. And he said, have you applied? I said, no. And he's like, are you stupid? And I'm like, no, like, wait and see. 3 months, I'll get accepted. And I got accepted.
So you manifested it?
Yeah.
When did the idea of music in video games with the score come together? Because you've been a part of what, Final Fantasy and Marvel?
Yeah. And so this was like the last semester of Berkeley. I just decided to randomly like form an ensemble that plays music from video games.
Really?
Yeah.
So like, okay, did you go like, okay, I like the second level in Mario Brothers, Sonic the Hedgehog, Dreams Come True is my favorite band, and like maybe Contra level 7, or do you do a Bubble Bobble mashup? Because there's 99 levels.
Not that one yet. I was like asking my friends next day, let's just do this. And I wrote a bunch of scores, and those weren't that great back then. But yeah, I wrote a bunch of things. I rented just a little chapel and just did a show, packed the place, and we booked another place, packed the place, and just kept going. And then like one day, like we found ourselves in Boston Symphony Hall packing and just walking out.
Boston Symphony Hall? Wait, say it one more time. You were in Boston Symphony Hall?
Yeah. We did a show
Playing video game music?
Yeah, it was the very first video game concert in the Boston Symphony Hall.
Really?
Yeah. And
how about in the United States? Was it the first one ever, or?
Not in the US, but like it was definitely the first one, first major video game concert in Boston, Massachusetts. And we packed the place.
So what did they think about that back in Japan? Do they even care? Do they even know you exist now?
I don't think they know.
They don't even know. They're like, whatever.
Because I don't do so much in Japan.
Okay.
Like I just like.
So you and Marty Friedman switched.
I guess so.
So like he decided, he's like, I'm gonna do this Megadeth thing, but now I'm gonna be Mr. Guitar in Japan. You're like, I'm gonna make video games, do something that seems to me a Japanese thing. I wanna tell people how we met because it's ridiculous. So when we were first starting Lost Symphony, we had Siobhan, who was at the time, I think she was playing with Trans-Siberian Orchestra, she plays with Starset, basically fly across the country on a whim. And she was in my studio, and you just happened to come down on a random day because our mutual friend Ernie was like shooting a Tascam commercial. I was like, he's already doing what we want to do, and somehow the name Jason Becker came up. And you're like, didn't you work on his album?
Yeah, I did. His latest one.
How did that happen?
I've been a fan of Jason for like so long, since like 15 or something. And when I...
What are you now, like 26?
A lot older than that. I have the Asian curse. But
The Asian curse of what? Looking younger than everybody all the time?
yes.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. And so when I saw that Indiegogo campaign, I was like, I have to do something for Jason. I have to. So I messaged to whoever managing the account. I said, if you're going to do orchestra music, I will help. Pro bono. I don't care. Like, I want to do this for Jason. And they got back to me.
Wow. Where does one find an orchestra to do a Jason Becker record?
So first, I flew to Jason's home and met him, and we conversed a little bit about the project. And then
Hold on, slow down.
Yes.
What's it like? Because as the people on my guitar channel, the Neurotic Guitarist, know, I've been lucky enough to be bestowed with some of his instruments, which, by the way, he gave you a guitar.
Yes.
So you didn't have to buy it or anything. He just gave you one.
I brought it today.
Oh my God. Well, we're going to have to look at it. But I remember I got a call and it was from Jason. You know, his mom was on the phone to Serena. And I melted. Like, I mean, literally, I don't know if there's anyone on the planet that could have called me that would have made me like more choked up and just like, I couldn't even believe that I was getting a call. What's it like to walk into a house with that guy?
I mean, just like, there's your legend, right? Like somebody who you've looked up to for so long. Because like I remember buying the Perpetual Burn album at this like tiny record shop in Okinawa, my hometown. My hometown is a small island.
Yeah, I've heard of it.
I bet.
Us Americans know a little bit about Okinawa.
Yes, that's where Mr. Miyagi's from. But yeah, so Perpetual Burn, I picked up because like the jacket kind of implies that he's an incredible musician. Right?
Well, he's got a pink strap on.
Yeah.
We were talking about this last night. He's got a pink strap on and a guitar that looks wild with different, like, and hair out to here. So you better be good if you look like that.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're like, you must be good. So I bought it and then like listened to it and I was like, holy shit, like this is just incredible. And so ever since then, like that, I think that was when I was 15 or something. And ever since then, I've been a fan of him. And I listened to all his David Lee Roth stuff. And everything else he's done. And I was aware of the situation as well.
And for those that don't know, we've been trying to raise awareness, ALS awareness for Jason. If you don't know about ALS or the story behind Jason, please go watch some of our previous posts or just put it into YouTube and be inspired and be happy if you're healthy. And if someone isn't, please take care of them, because that's one of the things that's so important that we wanted to say with these guitars was the reason we wanted to put all these guitars that you've seen in people's hands was because we can, you know, help him live a more comfortable life given the situation. How do we make him happy? And I knew that putting the guitar, I mean, obviously he knows putting a guitar in your hand is going to make him happy, but I wanted to put his guitars and keep it going, not just put them on the wall, but like see his music inspire people. Because for me, when I held that Numbers guitar, for example, the first time, or the Perpetual Burn, I cried. I couldn't even believe it, you know? So it's the same thing for me. Since 15, I was like, I've never realized he's the top. He's the bar for which everything has been set for me.
So I was in Bulgaria just conducting a session, and he was monitoring from Skype and just giving comments and stuff. And it was just like it was remote, but like it was very organic. And it was incredible.
What's the name of your band? Tell everybody about what you do exactly.
So yes, I have this project called the Video Game Orchestra. And we play music from video games with a rock band and orchestra, and we tour around the world. And
when you say an orchestra, though, how many people are we talking?
When we do like big shows, like it's a full orchestra, so like it's 60 people. So when we did the Boston Symphony Hall show, we packed the place, so like over 2,000 people.
2,000.
Yeah, and when we did a tour in China, it was like 4,000 people, and each venue. And believe it or not, I took the Jason's guitar to the China tour, rocked out. I had to.
Now, do they recognize it over there? Do people come up to you afterwards and go like, "Is that Jason Becker's guitar?"
Believe it or not, it has happened.
I absolutely believe it. I absolutely believe it.
And that was the one guitar I had to take.
Is there magic in the guitar?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you believe in that as far as like if someone plays something that they leave a little bit of whatever energy it is? So like if I pick up Jason's guitar, maybe a little bit of whatever Jason's mojo has like emanated through the Seymour Duncans.
Yeah, no, like it has definitely influenced my creativity and also my physical ability, because I believe in myself more when I use that guitar. Well, but it's just like if you have like 2,000 people cheering in front of you and you are with that guitar, it's just like it inspires you.
That's
like
just,
then you play better, and it's amazing.
Well, maybe we'll have to go see the Jason Becker guitar, don't you think?
Yeah.
All right. Well, maybe you'll come show it to us. So thank you.
But yeah, so like how I got the guitar was, so everything was done, the session was over, and I flew back to Boston. And one day I came back from a meeting, and then I see like a big box in front of my door. It's like, nobody sends me this. Like, did I buy something accidentally? Like, I don't know.
You're like, I don't Amazon Prime.
Yeah, and I was like, what is this? And so like I took it inside my place, and it says Kiso. And I was like, no way, no fucking way. And then I opened it, and there was the guitar with his thumbprint. And that was like the most glorious moment of my life. Because I did it for free. I didn't care.
But when you opened it, I was like, oh!
Yeah. It had the spark and the light and everything coming out. The dream came out from that box.
That's absolutely amazing. So, what a thank you. Was there any note inside? I mean, was it just a guitar and it's just like, hey man, we're just going to be Jedi and just send you a guitar?
No, it had the message on the body and thumbprint, and they coded it on the top. So it never fades away. It's the one and only guitar of mine from Jason, and it's,
I mean, that's just incredible. I'm so happy
I was
for
just
you.
so speechless.
Well, listen, it's weird because now I have 3 of them, but it's like I still don't feel like I deserve to even have one of them. And I was saying to you the other day, holy shit! Ah!
What an entrance.
What an entrance.
Run you the fuck over.
Don't run over Shota, he's important. I'm not. You guys should meet Shota. Shota,
Hello.
This is Ernie, this is Paul Geary.
I'm Paul.
Hello, Paul.
Shota
Nice to meet you.
Scored like Final Fantasy in the Marvel universe and all of that. And he basically created a whole place at Berkeley for video game orchestras and stuff. Travels around the world playing with orchestras. So he came to decide to look down on us and tell us what we're doing wrong. We appreciate that.
Sounds good.
Wow. That's
Wow, this
amazing.
sounds good. Is this a 12 or an 8?
8.
Jesus Christ. This is I gotta tell you, you got a 40 something in there, and this is the one I took a picture next to.
All right.
What is it?
Let me pista. Ferrari pista.
Oh my
Right
God.
there.
Wow.
Bye now. See ya. Bye. So well, tell me about, while we're carrying this Jason Becker guitar, so tell me about Final Fantasy. That's a big deal, right? Because I feel like after Sonic the Hedgehog was when I fell off.
It is a big deal, yeah. Like I was at an event in Chicago where I met one of the composers from Final Fantasy, the series, and he scored for like Final Fantasy 10 and 13, and Masashi Hamauzu, he's an incredibly talented composer. And we bonded. We were like drinking and just eating like for 3 days long until we had to depart. Then at one point, he's like, you know what? I'm going to call you soon. I'm like, okay, all right, goodbye, so long. And he went back. One day, he's like, hey, can you fly to Japan on this day? So I said, like, you know what? Sure, why not? Let's go. And so I went, and he was like, come to this address. So I went to that address, and it was a Square Enix building.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I was escorted to a room, and there was a production meeting. And so they said, hey, so you're working on Final Fantasy. That's how it happened.
So you basically had to get to Japan, and they're like,
Yeah.
were you expecting Ashton Kutcher to walk out and you're like, I'm getting punked right now?
No, because Japan is like, face to face. Like they
don't joke around like that.
You have to meet people. Yeah, and then it happened. So after that, they got me for a bunch more gigs, and there you have it.
And so how many games have you been a part of?
I've done 4 Final Fantasy games. If you include like the spin-offs, I think there's a lot more. But yeah, I think that's plenty.
You sound like Shannon Larkin talking about #1 hits. Like, I think they're like, hold on, how many fingers do I have? Can I count? Like, how many games have I been in that are more successful than everything you've ever done in your life combined?
Yeah, no, because like it's very exciting to work on those games, but like once I finish them all, then like move on to the next one. So then it's like, great, let's go to another one. Let's do something exciting, new.
So you're never bored.
I'm never bored.
So speaking of not being bored, can we see this?
Yes.
This Jason guitar? Oh my God. I've always been the one showing people To Shota, thank you for everything on Triumphant Hearts, my friend, Jason Becker. And a little doodle from Gary Becker. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh, I love the feel on this neck, dude. I'm not gonna touch it with these. Hold on. Can you please hold this, please? Yes. I am not gonna scratch up your guitar. People always say down the guitar channel, like, why would you be wearing all this jewelry so you could just scratch up somebody's guitar? All right.
That's my pick actually, like a original one.
Ah,
yeah, you can
there
use
you-
it. Yes.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I have
Look at
Jason's picks too, but like they're
Oh,
too
I have
precious.
Jason's picks, but I don't have one of yours.
Yeah, Jason gave me those too, like, and they're too precious. I can't use them. They're like just on my bookshelf. Yeah.
This is really cool because this is actually quite an accurate representation. Because I mean, I have the original. The only thing is with the original is he really hollowed it out. Like it's completely hollow behind this, and it's like that's wild.
Yeah.
How's it sound?
Sounds amazing.
I mean, this thing's great.
I just used it for a gig too, like last weekend. It sounds amazing.
Well, Shota, I gotta say thank you. This is absolutely
I brought
triumphant.
it just for you.
This is triumphant.
Yes.
And honestly, your friendship has been triumphant, and I thank you for sharing your wisdom with myself and everybody watching. And certainly, I'm excited for everyone to hear what you helped with Lost Symphony because it came full circle.
Yeah.
So thank you, sir. I very much appreciate it. And to Jason Becker, please, ALS awareness for Jason. And go check out Shota. He's probably playing the video games that are ruining your relationship.
Why don't you smash that subscribe button already?